And we're going to be moving along to 3 rounds. Let's get it.
Bellator champ Yaroslav Amosov has relinquished an opportunity to defend his title in order to defend his home country, the Ukraine. What are your thoughts on him joining the fight?
Commendable, honorable. It's the equivalent right now in 2022 to what we saw back with guys like Ted Williams in baseball, leaving his career to go fight in World War II back in the time. It's a beautiful sight to see in terms of these guys love their country and their countrymen so much that they're willing to sacrifice their own personal opportunities for the greater good.
I watched The Kingsman last night, so my opinion's kind of skewed on this, but I think it's a very commendable thing to do.
UFC vet, now Bellator fighter Yancy Medeiros has been booked on the next Hawaii card, which got a mention from his UFC superstar teammate Nate Diaz, asking to be on the card via Twitter. Give Nate's online trolling a letter grade.
I love it. I give it an A, and especially the way that Nate has been on fire on Twitter lately, the way that he fired off a tweet to Bob Menery the other day about something else that we're going to talk about later on, to all of his trolling of Dustin, Connor, Habib, whoever. I absolutely love it, because the fact of the matter is, there's not a snowball's shot in hell that Nate Diaz is going to get on this card. He is in an ironclad contract with the UFC that he cannot get out of, but the fact that they're having this back and forth struggle as far as a new deal, him wanting to get a fight done so he can get off of that contract right now, him saying, hey, my boy Yancy Medeiros is going to be on that card out there in Hawaii. So what's up, Bellator? What's up, Scott Coker? Why don't you let me get on this card? Let me see me bang. See, that's it right there for Josh Fremd on that side of things. But just goes to show you right there. One, in general, Yancy Medeiros is an incredible fighter. He's a fan favorite in terms of his style. I think that it's going to be a fun matchup with him and Emmanuel El Matador Sanchez going on. But getting back to the focus right here on this one with Nate Diaz, Nate knows that he can't, but that's just something that, okay, we're all talking about it.
It gets the people going.
It's provocative.
Jorge Masvidal is reportedly facing felony assault charges stemming from an altercation with Colby Covington at Poppy's Steakhouse in Miami. What are your thoughts on that fight outside the ring?
Well, we've had the 3-piece and a soda. Now we have the steakhouse and a lawsuit.
Oh, man. This one is tough, dude. Jorge, like, one, why would you do it at a steakhouse? Like, why don't you wait for the dude in the park, like, to get out in the parking lot, sneak him then? Whatever. I don't know. You had 25 minutes to do it, and I understand street fighting and fighting in the cage is completely different. There's a complete different aspect of it, but it's also been on record that Jorge is known in his area for one of the best sucker punches around. Because
sucker punch and 50-yard dash, baby.
Exactly. That's what you need, because you're going to get shot if you don't do it. So I understand where you're coming from. I understand also when you look at the opposite side, Colby with his lawsuit now, it kind of reminds me of that Eminem lyric where he's like, go ahead, I'll smile in the courtroom while I buy you a wardrobe. Like, yeah, Masvidal, he's probably going to have to give over the bag to Colby here shortly. But guess what? He's going to do that with pride, knowing that he stayed true to his roots. And then Colby's going to stay true to his roots, be a weasel, get the money, and a brand new suit. I don't know, man. Whatever.
and for me, Josh, it circles back to also what side of the fence are you on? Because, without getting too deep into, like the darkness end of it or whatever, but when you're quote unquote, when you're in the game and when you're quote about that life, like there's a code, there's a different set of rules that you go by. That's it's an unspoken thing. If you're living in that world or you walk that walk, it's a totally different set of rules, circumstances, respect factors, so on and so forth. Jorge, as we well know, has been someone who has been about that life his entire life. One thing that I will also counter is that typically in fights, and you mentioned it, they had 25 minutes to do what they were going to do, but most of the time, the chatter stops after.
Most of the time.
The difference in this is Colby did not stop with the talk and continued on the offensive attack, if you will, in his interviews with the verbal assault following the fight.
Yeah.
So I feel, that's where I think it's a little bit of a difference than in other typical circumstances. Is Colby continued to lay on the trash talk thick and heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, it's a thing of you're going to call yourself the king of another man's city. And, like all the things that go along with that when you're in that world, in that life. And Colby wanted to start talking like he was a gangster. You want to start acting like he was living that gangster and that boss life. It's very easy to say that the Nelk Boys and Bob Menery definitely set Colby up.
Lucky he didn't get stabbed, honestly.
Yeah, he's lucky that nothing worse happened out of that, just simply because of the fact that when you go out there and you're posting your location, when you're putting yourself out there in your face with all of this, that's what can happen in the real world of this. We see it happen in hip hop all the time.
Yeah.
So that's just something that finally crossed over and translated into the fight game. Again, doesn't mean that it's right, but when you're in that world, it makes sense, and it's tough to explain if you don't understand that life.
And it's funny that people are getting all bent out of shape about this. You got two guys who get paid to punch each other in the face, and another man punched another man in the face. And then people just want to go all crazy about it. Like,
fighters fought?
Oh my
God. What a revelation. Oh my God. Fighters fought.
Get over it.
Yeah, exactly. And you all know that I'm not the biggest guy on Leon Edwards, but I give an even bigger tip of the cap and nod of respect to Leon Edwards now, because Leon, when the 3-piece in his soda happened, did not snitch.
You can't snitch on something that was caught on camera.
Yeah, but he could have pursued it.
He could have pursued it, yeah.
He could have pursued it in that regard. But we are all out of time just like that, folks. We want to give a special thank you to our guest, Eric Mitchell. We also want to thank our man behind the glass who keeps us in line and keeps the cart going in the right direction. Danny Bailey, you are the man. We also want to give a shout out to Ryan Garcia, CEO of DenverSportsBetting.com, along with our sponsors in MyFit Foods, Comments from the Peanut Gallery, and Fat Ninja Combat Gear. Like I say, I'm Jordan Kurtz. This is Josh Fremd. You can follow me at Comments from the Peanut Gallery. Follow Josh at Josh Fremd MMA. If you're watching on the segmented clips online, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, share so we can continue to keep on booming out this content. This is the MMA Plug presented to you by DenverSportsBetting.com on 98.1 FM, Mile High Sports Radio.
Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. That helps us continue to produce this original MMA content and bring it for you every single week. Tune in to the MMA Plug presented by DenverSportsBetting.com on 98.1 FM, Mile High Sports Radio on Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m.
or live stream at denversportsbetting.com/radio.